I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to the unveiling of our 17th historical calendar. It's been a remarkable run, and we appreciate you making the effort to come out and overcoming the fears of the pandemic, rightful fears, but we found the biggest place in town for you that you can be spread out, and we appreciate your cooperation. This calendar that we're introducing tonight, as I said, is our 17th, and the collection of them is a tremendous collection of historic photographs related to our county. Over the years, the covers have taken special notice, and beginning with our very first one in 2007, it had a picture of our old historic, I'll get the right side of it, of the original 1890 Aransas County Courthouse, and it's continued from there. I might say that the Society launched the calendar idea in the fall of 2006, and the first calendar came out then that fall for presentation in 2007. And out of the idea of the calendar was such a success that we then launched the photo contest, which we're also celebrating tonight. It's actually two different events, and several of us had a part of it, but Pam Stranahan is here, and Pam was an instrumental role in getting our photograph contest off and rolling, along with several other people in the society. But Janie White has come and gone. Phil Alvin's not here. Phil Stranahan had a hand involved, and several others, and it continues with their help to this day. Well, we have the historic courthouse. On the cover has been the Fulton Mansion, picture of the original giant crab. The Surf Theater was pictured a few years ago, one of my favorites. And then, of course, just last year, one of our best covers of these beautiful bathing beauties. Sorry to be redundant. And so because of that, this next year's calendar, we thought we needed something totally in contrast to bathing beauties, and you'll hear more about that later. This year's, the 2021 calendar is also our calendar to mark the observance of Aransas County and Rockport Fulton's sesquicentennial anniversary, celebrating the founding of Rockport in 1870, the Aransas County in 1871. Actually, Fulton is a little ahead of the game in 1866, but that celebration will be continuing throughout the rest of this year and into next year, culminating in the summer with a grand celebration. And so you'll want to keep up with those events, and hopefully the pandemic will pass by that time and we can celebrate our sesquicentennial in style. And so with that said, I want to say thank you for being here, and I want to introduce you then to our president, Cheryl Livingston, who's been president of the society for the past 6 years.
Oh, not, it might seem like that long, but
a good while, and has done a great job for us, and she will have several introductions to make. Cheryl?
Thank you. I think I was on the board shortly for not too long as a secretary, and then became the president, and then Hurricane Harvey came and, kind of got into recovery mode from that, and now we have a pandemic, so there might be a coup to get rid of me just any day now. I want to echo what David said, welcome you all here, and I am going to, David asked me and instructed me that right away I should recognize our board of trustees and board of directors, and I thought that's a great idea because don't always acknowledge them, but I do recognize you all out there, so I think he wants me to say your name, so I guess I'll do that. Ty Husak up front here is our vice president. Janie White is our treasurer. She's here and had to leave. Debbie Mahawk is our secretary and soon to be our membership chair. Brad Brundrett is on our board, and he and his wife Elizabeth are kind of a tag team because Brad's work takes him out of town quite a bit. Ernie Camille is on the board, and Veronica Camille photographs most of our events. We have the brother team of Bobby and John Jackson. Yes. Pam Stranahan's on our board. Jeannie Schindler resigned as an active Board of Trustee member recently, but she is our trustee emeritus. And in addition to David being on the board, he's also our newsletter editor, and that's a big job. Our calendar committee. Okay, let's talk about the calendar committee. Janie was doing a lot of this work for the calendar on her own, and now that we have a committee and we've divided it up, we still see, I mean, we know for sure it has been a lot of work. So our committee this year was Noreen Holman, Ty Husak, myself, Debbie Mahawk, Joanne Morgan, Jeannie Schindler, Janie Collier-White, and we want to recognize our calendar sponsors. That's a huge help to us to have some sponsors in the community. Texas Maritime Museum, Rockport Cultural Arts District, John and Debbie Jackson, Fulton Mansion State Historic Site, Sandy Swanson and Jackie Shaw, GSM Insurers, Rockport Center for the Arts, History Center, Alban Exterminating, Friends of Fulton Mansion, and this year the Aransas County Sesquicentennial Committee is a sponsor. And then we have, this doesn't happen every year, but some years we have a in memoriam sponsor, and this year it's in memory of John Wayne Newman. Was born in 1937, died in 2020. And I think John fits perfectly with what we talk about. He always had stories to tell about many different things, so we always encourage that. I also want to recognize the people that judged the photo contest and helped with the organization of that part. Oh my, we wrote down last year's judges. This year's judges were Maria Nesbitt, she's in the audience, and Ann Murrah and Bobby Jackson. And then a few other people on the committee did some secondary judging after they chose honorary mention candidates or honorary mention photos in third, second, and first place. And David did the publicity. Janie went ahead and did the layout and production after we provided her things. Rockport Printing did our printing, and we picked up the calendar yesterday, so it went down to the wire. So they're really fresh this year. Let's see what's next. I'm going to introduce Bobby Jackson, and he is going to tell us about the 3 honorable mention recipients and third, second, and first place. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to the floor.
Thank you. Well, I have the fun part of the program, announcing the winners of the contest. My name is Bobby Jackson, and I have the pleasure of introducing the winners of the 2020 Historic Photo Contest. When I say your name, please join Cheryl. Cheryl, are you going to be up here?
We're going to photograph a Bobby photos.
Okay. So you'll go back to her?
Yeah.
All right, so when I say your name, please join Cheryl back there, and Veronica will take your photo. Here we go. Could I have a drum roll, please? It's not as if you don't already know because you've looked around already, but it's okay. It's nice to hear it. We have 3 honorable mentions, so we're going to start with those. 1 honorable mention, Gene Springs. Is he here? He's here. So you'll go back to, okay. Another honorable mention, Joanne Morgan. And another honorable mention, Patsy Parr. But Patsy unfortunately cannot be with us tonight. But hang on, you'll hear some more about her. Another honorable mention, Patsy Parr again. For 3rd place with a check for $25. Guess who? Patsy Parr. So she won 3 of them. 2nd place, and a check for $50, Donna Dickinson. And the 1st place winner, unfortunately, could not be here tonight, but receiving $100 in 1st place, Becky Roquette Livingston. And I think most of you know about her situation. Becky is following doctor's orders and avoiding crowds after a serious case of COVID-19 this summer. So her photo and prize will be delivered to her home this weekend. Thanks for all the beautiful memories. And thanks for your entries. And don't hesitate to enter again and again and again. And maybe you'll be a 3-time winner like Patsy. So thank you.
All right. Janie couldn't be with us. She was outside selling calendars, but she wasn't able to be indoors tonight. She wanted me to read a little something she wrote about the calendar. Thanks to everyone who's entered photos in the Aransas County Historical Society photo contest for the 2021 calendar. You are important to the Aransas County Historical Society's effort to collect and interpret our local history. These photos help us see what life was like in the past. One of the tragedies of local photographs is that the photographer does not always stop to add information, dates, names of people, and locations before the photo is put into a shoebox and forgotten. When you take a photo out of the shoebox and enter it into the contest with as much information as you can provide, you are telling a story that helps us know what Aransas County was truly like in the past. All the photos entered in the contest are important, even if they are not in the calendar. We appreciate you as one of our historians. So start looking for history to enter into the contest for the 2022 calendar. And even if you don't have much information, Joanne Morgan can always find facts and further information about most photos. We have a couple other people that are very helpful to us, so don't let that stop you. And also don't let it stop you if a photo you entered this year didn't get selected. I know a lot of you knew Dolly Close, and I think she was on the board, but she kept entering the same photo, and it took 3 times before she was chosen, but she was pretty happy when that finally happened. Okay. All right, now, we alluded to this year's cover photo, and the cover photo is explained on the inside cover, but since we have a few people who actually participated in the cover photo, I'd like to ask John Jackson, Ty Husak, Roseanne Elliott to come forward and tell us a little bit about their story.
Does everyone have a copy of it that you can look along with us? I I can say for sure that this is one of the most fun things we've ever done. The three of us on the stage and the other people in this photograph, and I'm going to go through each one of them in a minute, were part of the class of 1969. And by the way, I didn't know until tonight that the caption on this photo was changed. It started out being seniors to senior citizens. But now it's called 6 Guys on a Car or whatever. Who did that? I think senior citizens would have been better. But anyway, Roseanne Elliott was the one who took this photograph. We were all in the same class, and none of us in the photo remember it being taken. And Ty wrote a really good write-up in here about this whole thing and the way it happened. We had our 50th high school reunion last year in 2019, and we all submitted photos to share with our classmates. And this was one of them that Roseanne forgot she had even taken. She found it in a box and brought it up, and then one thing led to another. But I want to tell you a little bit about the people in this photograph. Interestingly, 4 of the 6 are here in Rockport. Not all of them were here the whole time, but the one on the far left is named Mike Wicker. He's only been back in town a couple of years or so. He left here and spent about 35 years, as far as I know, maybe more than that, he had a really tough job with Halliburton. He ran their hunting ranch for 35 years. Enviable job. That's him in the sunglasses. The one next to him is Eddie Locke. And if you look at the inside photo of the photo taken 51 years later, you can see how all of us look 50 years older. But that particular photo of him is actually photoshopped because he could not be here. He had a health issue that day, and we took this photo back in June, right?
Yeah, something like that.
June? Okay, well, Eddie's, what is it, Port Arthur?
No, he's in Sugarland, I think.
Sugarland. He couldn't make it for the photo, but obviously we put a photo of him and put him in there. The one next to Eddie is Martin Moss, who came here back when we were, I guess, in grade school from Freer, Texas. And his dad and mother retired here, and Martin grew up here, left years ago, and came back. He's back in Rockport now. That's me in the middle. The next one, to the right, up to the left, my left, or to your right, if you're looking at it, is David Martinez. He was our class president. He happens to be in Corpus Christi now and works for one of the oil refineries over there. And of course, the one on the end is Ty Husak, who's going to speak after me. But I'll tell you, this group of guys was a great group. None of us remember having taken this photo. And I'm sure glad you found it, because it made for a great day when we took it in June, and then afterward went to Ty's house and told stories. And we were there for probably an hour and a half. And not until we were finished did I tell them that we recorded the whole conversation. Right. So now I've got blackmail for the rest of my life. But it was a great day. I'm so glad that Roseanne kept it, and I'm so glad that we thought of going and put the 51-year later photograph. And you can see the only thing different, other than the people, is that looking older, is it's a different car. The one on the bottom happens to be Roseanne's car, and I think the one on top was Mike Wicker's car. So I'm going to pass the baton to Ty Husak.
Thanks, John. Just a couple quick notes about how we came to do this. So, as John mentioned, we had our 50th reunion in 2019, and so we needed to track down as many people as we could in the class and get them here for the reunion. So we kind of had a pretty good idea of where everyone was, and we knew where all the people in that photo was. And we asked for photos from the people that were coming to the reunion, and that was one of the ones that Roseanne sent in. She sent in the most photos, by the way. She got the prize, which wasn't but a thank you. But
I didn't get a prize.
It was a thank you. so we got that photo, and then later on, we came up with the idea to, or talked about maybe getting the 6 people back together. We're kind of scattered around, but we're all still here. So then Cheryl said, well, maybe we could do that for the calendar. So we did. We started contacting people. Everybody was very enthusiastic about getting out here and getting together for the photo. And so we got together and shot the photo. And the rest, like John said, It was really great, getting together people. Some of those people, we hadn't been together like that in over 50 years. After high school, everybody kind of scattered out to some degree, but it was a really great event. Roseanne, would you like to say something?
Yeah.
I guess.
You are retired.
Oh yeah. Donna helped me with the current one. When Ty said go look for pictures, fortunately, when I was about 40 years old, I went through all pictures and put them all in books. So I just started flipping through books and found a lot. He even put one of me in a swimsuit playing pool at my house on the board at the reunion, and I'm going, thanks, Ty. But I do wish I looked like that now, so oh well. But it was fun. It was fun, and I do not remember taking that, even though I know I always had one of those little cameras, and I'm sure because of the day that it was, that's what happened. And actually, I guess we should have talked to Mr. Bari to see what he would tell us about that day. I'm sure you would have had a lot to say. But, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Interesting, like I said a while ago, 4 of the 6 people are back in Rockport. I'm the only one that never left Rockport, but the other 3 came back here after spending a career somewhere else, including Roseanne. Add her to it. Actually, she grew up here, but she's been around the state working as a pharmacist. So isn't it cool how people come back to this place?
It is.
So anyway, I'm proud of that. I wanted to mention that to you as well. Thank you very much.
Sure, anything else?
Nope.
Well, I tell you, that was just great, guys. But what a great example of how just a photograph in a box that's been forgotten about, but how important and how valuable it is. And Ty, what a great job of photoshopping him in. That's good. I would have never known it had you not mentioned it. So I wanted to mention, if you haven't picked up your calendars, be sure to do so. We also have a few Guy Clark books back there. If you don't have the Guy Clark biography, we'll also have a new newsletter coming out toward the end of the month. The newsletter is about the best way we can stay in touch with people right now, and we're looking to kind of beef it up a little. If you've got a historical narrative of some kind, 400, 500, 600 words you'd like to be included, just give me a call, and we'll see if we can work it in this one or a future one. As you know, the pandemic is continuing. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better, so we really don't know what we can do at our annual meeting. We'll try our best to have one under the best of circumstances we can. That comes in February. But, things are still going. The society is still functioning, and we're having a great time in spite of the fact that we don't have a chance to get together. And I have one other observation, John. You mentioned you guys getting together after 51 years. I just came back from my 60th high school class reunion, and I was just amazed at how old all those other guys are. If there's not anything else, then we've got plenty of refreshments left. Help yourself and stay and visit. However you'd like to do it, just stay 6 feet away. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everybody.